least recently used, page which is not used in the recent, okay, which is not used recently, such page is selected for replacement. So previously page which is not used, okay, previous strings can be predicted. Fine. Previously which instructions, which page the processor has requested, that can be predicted, correct? So this can be implemented. This particular algorithm, page replacement algorithm, can be implemented, whereas optimal page replacement technique cannot be implemented because future strings cannot be predicted. Okay. Whereas previously what string was requested by processor can be predicted. Fine. So initially the frames are empty, and page 7 is a page fault, 0 is a page fault, 1 is a page fault. Next, page 2 is required. So check which was used recently. So 1 was used recently, block it. 0 was used recently, block it. And page 7 is selected as victim page, and page 2 is stored there. Okay. Next, 0 is required, page 0 is there. Page 3 is required, it is a page fault. Okay. So observe the strings which was used recently. So page 3 is required, it is a page fault here. All those instructions are over. Okay. So 0 was recently used, block it. 2 was recently used, block it. Okay. Next, page 1 will be selected here as victim page, and that is replaced by 3. Okay. So what is the idea here is, the system here assumes that the page which was recently used will be the page which is next used. Okay. Page which was recently used will be the page which will be next used. Okay. And hence those pages are retained. Recently used pages are retained. Okay. Next, page 0 is required, it is available. Page 4 is required, it is not available, it is a page fault. Okay. Observe the pages which was recently used out of this existing. So here the page fault has occurred. All this are executed already. So which was recently used? Page 0 was recently used, block it. Page 3 is recently used, block it. Okay. Now page 2 is replaced by page requested is 2. Page 2 is not available. Okay, it was replaced. Observe the immediately used pages which has to be selected for victim page. So page 4 was immediately used, block it. Page 0 was immediately used, block it. Okay. 3 was used last. So when I observe here all this, so page 4 was recently used, so I will retain it. Okay. Page 3 was last used, hence it was not recently used. Okay. And hence page 3 is selected as victim page. Page 2 is required now, it is not available. So page 3 is selected as victim page and put it, page 2 is swapped in here. Okay, now page 3 is required, it is not available. Check the recently used pages. Page 2 was used recently, so block it. Next, page 4 was used, and hence block page 4 also. Okay. Next, so page 0 was last used. Out of this, recently used is 2 and 4. So retain 2 and 4, and page 0 is replaced by page 3. Okay. Whereas page 0 is next required, but future strings cannot be predicted. Next, which I need, what happens in future, what I need in future cannot be predicted. Okay. So previously, what all the pages which was used, retain it. Okay, that is the technique what is followed here. Now page 0 is required, that is also a page fault. Okay, So which frame is selected? See the recently used. So 3 was recently used, 2 was recently used. Okay. Page 4 is not used recently. It was used before 3 and 2. Okay. And hence page 4 is replaced by 0. Next, page 3 is required, it is there. Page 2 is required, it is there. Page 1 is not there. Okay, page 1 is not here. And hence, page 1 has to be put into the primary memory. A victim page has to be selected. So, recently used instructions are from page 2. So, block page 2 and page 3, block page 3. Okay, so 0 is replaced by 1. Fine. And then page 2 is required. It is there. No page fault. So this is LRU. Okay, according to this, the number of page faults is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, number of page faults is 10. How do you count the number of page faults? Count the towers what you have drawn. Okay, that gives the number of page faults. Okay, the same example. Check for 3 frames. For 3 frames. So page 1 not there, page 2 again it is a page fault, 3 again it is a page fault, 4 page 4 is required, it is a page fault. Recently used are 3 and 2, block it. Okay, and 1 is replaced by 4. Next, 1 is required. So recently used are 4 and 3, block it, and 2 is replaced by 1. Next, 2 is required. Now recently used are 1 and 4. Okay, so 2 is replaced in place of 3. Okay, next page 5 is required. Again, it is a page fault. Recently used are 2 and 1. So 4 is replaced by 5. Okay. Next, page 1, there is no page fault, it is available. Page 2, available. Page 3 is a page fault. Check the recently used instructions. It is from page 2, block page 2, recently used from page 1, block page 1, and 5 was replaced by 3. Okay. Again, page 4 is a page fault. Select a victim page. Select, check which strings, which pages were used recently. So 2 and 3 were used recently. Okay, replace 1 by 4. Page 5, again it's a page fault. So recently used are 4 and 3. So retain it. And then page 5 is stored instead of page 2. Okay, so here the number of page faults is 10.